Hello, welcome back to another yoga class with Tag Cycling. My name is Maggie Lister and I'm a professional track and road cyclist, and I coach spin with Tag, and I am also a registered yoga fitness leader. And today I'm going to lead you through about a 20-minute practice. And if you're anything like me and have been sitting at a desk a lot lately and just long miles on the bike, your shoulders, hips, neck are probably all feeling it a little. So over the next 20 minutes, we're going to be working through each part of that. And just get into all those different areas, get a little loose, a little open, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first I want you to start in, you can start kneeling, you can start cross-legged if this is too hard on your knees. And we're just gonna start here. Just close your eyes, settle in, hands just turn down on your lap, and just take 3 deep breaths. So inhale for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 3. Again, deep inhale for a count of 3. Exhale for a count of 3. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Good, and just coming into presence, just settling in on your mat from your busy day or morning, whatever time it is. Now just roll your shoulders back and down. Just take some circles. Just take 5 in this direction. Just kind of moving through those joints, getting some synovial fluid flowing. Then 5 circles in the other direction. So roll them forward. Good. And I want you to inhale your arms up overhead. And maybe just connect your palms and just wiggle out. Just move your ribs side to side. Just move through your body. And then drop your right arm to your side and lean into that hand. Just taking a gentle side bend. It's still early. You're not super warmed up. So just gentle. You don't want to feel any pain. If there's any pain in anything, back out of it. Stay here for another breath. Good. Inhale your arms back up to center. Good. And drop that left arm to your side. Lean into that, just opening through this right side. Your right arm overhead. That's it. One more. Good. And come up tall again. And then just circle your neck out. Just side to side. Nice, just moving through it. And then look down towards the right side of your mat and just feel this stretch through the left side of your neck. You can also take your hand, gently guide your head further down. Don't pull, just use the weight of your hand to guide it. This is one of my favorite stretches. So good. You might have to play with the angle a bit to feel it. But then just breathe here for a couple breaths. Inhale, exhale, let it go. That's it. One more breath. Good. And gently let go of your neck. And we'll come on to the other side. So just looking down towards your left armpit, towards the mat. You can take your hand just behind your head, gently guiding it down. Feeling that opening through the right side. Nice. Good, and come back up to center. Gently let it go. Okay, we're going to be coming onto our backs. So just find yourself lying down on your mat. Start by stretching your legs out long. In front of you, a slight tuck of your chin. Shoulders sink down and back onto the mat. Good. And just as you're here, point and flex your toes a little bit. Just a couple times. Take some ankle circles. That's it. Good. And now hug your right knee into your chest. Just hug it here for a sec. Good. You can kind of rock it side to side. And I want you to take your right hand to that knee and just start circling it counterclockwise. Circles can start small and then get bigger. Just kind of opening up through this hip. Good, and then take circles in your other direction. That's it. And then using that right hand, I just want you to open that leg out to the side. Good, you can stay here, or if you want a bit more, you can straighten that leg. Flex the foot. Just feeling an opening through your hip. Well, you might get a pop like mine just did. Nice. Good, and now rebending it, bring it back to center. Hug both knees in. Curl yourself up into a ball. Just hug everything in tight for a second. Good, and exhale, release back out. We're gonna come onto the other side. So, I'm just gonna shift over, hug that left knee into your chest. Take some circles with that hip. Say 5 times one direction. Just opening up, getting things moving. Good, 5 times the other direction. That's it. And then just open that leg up to the side. Again, you can straighten here, or you can keep it bent. Just feeling into that hip. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, let it go. 1 more. Good. And come back to center. Bend your knees, cross out your ankles. You can just push yourself up. We're gonna come onto all fours. So however you wanna get there, meet me on all fours. And just take a second, settle in here, find a flat back, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And then we're just going to move through some cat-cow. So you inhale, drop your chest, look forward, arching through that back. Exhale, push into the mat, and come into cat. Good, inhale, drop your chest, look forward, tailbone up and back. Exhale, round through the spine. Take 3 more, inhale. You might be able to go a bit deeper each time. Good, exhale, round through your spine. 2 more. Inhale, dropping that chest, looking forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now I just want to you're going to sink back to child's pose. So connect your big toes, widen your knees almost to the edges of your mat, and sink your hips back. So I want you to keep your elbows up off the mat. You're pressing into your finger pads to really allow you to sink your shoulders back and down, and your hips back towards your heels as far as possible. It's totally okay if they don't touch. Mine definitely don't, and I don't think they ever have. Maybe one day. Good, then just walk your hands over to one side. Get a nice stretch through that left side of your body. Good. Walk your hands back to center. And over to the other side, just getting a nice stretch through this right side, this right shoulder. Just another cycle of breath here. Good. And then we're going to come back up onto all fours. Tuck your toes. We're going to come up into a downward facing dog. So hips up and back. You can kind of adjust your stance. If your hamstrings are super tight, you're going to want to bend your knees lots. So you can keep a straight back, sinking your belly towards your thighs. Shoulders drop away from the ears. And just find yourself here, walking it out, sinking one heel towards the mat, then the other. There you go. Feel into those calves. Good. And now we're going to bring our right leg up into our hands. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes. You're going to come into a low lunge. So inhale, hands come up. You can connect your fingers overhead. Just feel into that hip. Actually, hands on your hips for a sec. I want you to just make sure they're both squared towards the front of the mat. So you might need to sink this right hip back a bit. Then you're feeling into that left hip flexor. Good. Connect your hands behind your back and just open up your shoulders. And come into a bit of a back bend here. Don't have to go very deep. Just getting some opening. Good. Take 2 cycles of breath here. One more. Good. Now, bring your arms over, windmill them over, plant them beside your front foot. You're going to shift your hips back and just come into what we call half splits, half Hanuman. And you're just going to feel a stretch through this hamstring. Depending how tight you are, it might be pretty intense. So you can back out of it a bit if it's too much. Just stay here. Good. And then looking forward, rebend that front knee, tuck your back toes, and you're going to step back to a downward facing dog. However you get there, it doesn't matter how graceful it is. Just meet me here in a downward facing dog. Good. We're going to go into that all on the other side. So lifting your left leg, bringing it up to your hands. Might need to use your hand to help guide it there. Dropping that back knee, untucking the toes, finding yourself in this low lunge. Good. And now just come up. Inhale your arms up overhead. Good. And this time you can grab onto either elbow. You can use the back of your head to kind of open up your shoulders, open up your arms. Good. So you're getting that hip flexor stretch and you're getting some opening through your upper body. Nice. Windmill your arms back down. Plant your hands beside that front foot and shift your hips back into half splits. Good, flexing through that front foot. Feeling into that calf. Calf and hamstring. Stay here for one more cycle of breath. Good, looking towards the front of your mat, you're gonna rebend that front leg. This time, tuck your toes and you're gonna step up to the front of your mat. So however you need to get there, you're going to meet me here in a forward fold. So in this forward fold, just like in downward dog, if you have really tight hamstrings, you're going to bend your knees lots to try to connect your belly and your thighs. Good. You can take your hands, connect them overhead. If you're having trouble and don't have the flexibility to quite do this, if you have a t-shirt or some kind of strap nearby, you can also take that. Otherwise, you're clasping your hands behind your back, and then you're just letting your head hang, letting those hands come overhead. Good. Now I want you to bend into that left leg, turn towards the right side, and you're gonna think connecting that left shoulder to that left knee. If you don't get close, that's okay, but just think that in your head. You're gonna feel an intense stretch in that right leg and through those shoulders. Good. Coming into the other side, so bend that right knee. Think about dropping that right shoulder. I'm going to turn to face you. So think about dropping that right shoulder towards that right knee. Looking to your left side. Good. And we're going to take 2 more each side. So inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend that left knee. Shoulder comes towards the knee. inhale, straighten both. Exhale, right shoulder, right knee. Once more each side, inhale. Exhale, left shoulder, left knee. And last one, inhale. Right shoulder, right knee. Good. Now just let go of your hands, straighten both legs. You can shake out your hands. Come up to a flat back, hands to your shins. Exhale, maybe you go deeper for a second in this forward fold. Now inhale, press into your feet. Bring your hands up overhead, connect your hands overhead. Slight back bend at the top. Good, and then just find yourself in mountain pose. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Neck is long and straight, chin tucked slightly, knees slightly bent. Breathe here for a second. That's it. Good, and inhale, hands come back up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, you're gonna step your right leg back, and then I want you to turn towards the long side of your mat. Good, and you're gonna come into a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. So just to get into this, just want you to bend into one leg, bend into the other. Just start moving here. Hands can stay under your shoulders. Good, just bending into one. Feeling a stretch through both hips. Good, and now plant your right hand directly under your shoulder and open up as you inhale that left arm. And turn your head, look towards that left hand. Feeling an opening through your shoulder. Good, stay here for another breath. Good, exhale, hand comes back down. Again, just shift side to side. This is a great one for just opening up your hips. That's it. Plant your left hand, right hand comes out to the side. Inhale, open it up. This is building some strength in your bottom shoulder, opening up through your chest. Good, stay here for another couple cycles of breath. That's it. Nice. And windmill your arm back down. You can come back, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Last time here. Good, and drop both knees to the mat. We're just gonna come into one more back bend. So if you have sensitive knees, you can tuck the mat under to just bring some padding. I want you to sit back. You're gonna tuck your toes, then come up onto your knees, hands to your lower back. And for this first round, you're just gonna lean back, open back into it. Might feel some pops, that's okay. Roll your shoulders back and down. Gentle gaze towards the ceiling. Good, exhale, come back up. Good, we're gonna come in towards what we call camel. If you don't go all the way, if you're fine with just hands on your back, and that's deep enough, that's fine. If you wanna come further, inhale, arch through that back, keep your hips stacked over your knees, and then you can bring one hand to your heel and the other hand to your other heel. Just opening up through those shoulders, through that back. Again, if this is too much, just bring your hands back to your low back and just take that gentle back bend. Otherwise, you're here in full camel. Gentle gaze towards the ceiling. That's it. Stay with it. One more cycle of breath. Good. Hands back to your lower back. Use your abs, engage your core as you pull yourself back up tall. Good. Tuck your mat. Just going to come into child's pose to counter that. So sink your hips back towards your heels, hands out in front of you. Just take a breath here. Good. And come back up. That's it for today's class. You can go back and do any other parts. If you really like some certain stretches, go back, spend more time there. Yeah, there's more classes up on TAG YouTube page, so you can go check those out as well. And thanks for joining me.